No decisions have been made on appointing new MPCC president, says Bhakta Charandas. Professor Naurem Lokendra Singh appointed as Vice Chancellor of Manipur University. And Tokyo Olympic Games 2020 inaugurated today. Hello and welcome to ELITETV. You're watching the Evening English News. I am SANATOMBI giving you the news in detail. With the starting of the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, ELITETV sends best wishes to the 5 Olympic participants from Manipur as well as the entire Indian contingent. We all hope you will perform your very best and bring back glory for our country and the state. Before giving you the news, we request you to follow the SOPs given by the government, wear face masks when out in public, wash hands regularly, and maintain a minimum of 6 feet between one person and another. ELITETV requests you to get vaccinated in time to protect ourselves from this virus and play your part in this fight against COVID-19. Now the news in detail. AICC Manipur in charge Bhakta Charandas said that they have not been able to establish communications with Govindas Konthojam and the selection of MPCC president is still undecided. He further said that existing office bearers are carrying out their functions as before. The people of Manipur support Congress party and still show fatness. BJP has formed the government unethically and Congress has more MLAs that won in the election. He continued that he had been meeting one-on-one with the MLAs and potential nominees of the coming assembly elections to discuss how to proceed efficiently. Answering to a question from the press, both the BJP government at the center and the state are no longer people-centric and expressed that the government are not taking into account the struggles of the common people.
To go in a way through a process. It's not a question of jumping here and there. We are having political dialogues. Everybody is meeting, and today also many MLAs are going to meet, and many non-MLAs are going to meet. Already I have met 11 persons since morning.
Professor and Head Department of History, Manipur University, has been appointed as the Vice Chancellor of Manipur University by the President of India in his capacity as visitor of the Manipur University. On an exclusive meeting with ELITETV, the newly appointed Vice Chancellor, Professor Naurem Lokendra, said the ranking of Manipur University in the National Institutional Ranking Framework has fallen for 3 years due to some events and a pandemic. He will work with the teachers of the institution to bring it back up, and he will also conduct discussions to provide as much help as possible to the researchers of the institution, he continued. He will look into the shortcomings and the many needs of the different departments along with infrastructural needs in order to make them more functional. He further said that being a central university, students from other states will be admitted to the university as representatives in the coming session.
Tangai phadana technology se kitang upgrade to ba darkar online class to ba matam sida chhatra sing si da reach to ba yanar bidam da online gi masi gi pura platform sing ase masi phajana university gi site gi oja sing se tanana ka karma mong da masi gi platform sing ase khara phaba platform aduga chhatra mayam sing ase masi khudong sabak ba ase phamba yagde ge du su maduma su ain tanana ga aduma su aina hawdok chaningi nutritious oiba chinjak leina ko aduga akoi library da ko tangai phadaba akoi gi changda biya da lari journal sing ko mayam sing asi akoi minimum requirement sing asi yam thuna ina masi akoi oja sing tanana ga din sing tanana ga sigi facility sing asi ai masi ang tang pi bang na ba khona jige.
Journalist Kishore Chandra Wangkhem, who was booked under NSA for a Facebook post directed towards BJP Manipur Pradesh former president, late Professor Tikendra, was released today from Sajiwa jail by an order of Manipur High Court. Talking to media persons on his immediate release, Kishore Chandra said that this is the second time he has been arrested and booked under NSA for expressing his opinion on social media. He further said that he might submit a compensation case to the Supreme Court regarding the arrest of innocent people without reason by the government just for expressing their opinions. People should not fear to express the truth, and only the people that are deceiving should be afraid of the truth, he added. He also expressed the need to look into the inmates of the jail by concerned authorities regarding the struggles they are facing due to COVID-19 and if they are getting their needs met.
Kanagumba anybody government sigi mayuk tangang or lady government sigi policy program da kitang he high bada madugi misak tu tana na mo myam hupchal la kan IT selena la is ni sing na ga kahani discredit tauba ikai ba pi ba duga kaisuna tawna natabagi mo da gi kahani social media da troll tauba si adum mase ai haktak ti hona ai gi mamang de hu torang bura le aingo di madu yam chaw thuobnin madu achum babu mayuk na bangam da bagi tang da sugumba campaign si moy thawoina injil la kan da chathar pa campaign in lawe duna ai gi wona di madu kaisu na chung bi de na khale do me am su madu onjil la ga thoina manaru bagi mathu ta da bran su khale achum bai de chum madu moira kani haduni.
The long-awaited Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 was inaugurated today with a grand opening ceremony with no spectators amid COVID-19 concerns. The Indian contingent was led by flag-bearers boxer MC Mary Kom and men's hockey team captain Manpreet Singh and most Indian athletes from 7 sports including shooting, badminton, archery and hockey skipped the opening ceremony because of COVID-19 concerns and competitions lined up the next day, leaving just about 30 in attendance at the event. India is sending its largest ever contingent to the Tokyo Olympics with 127 athletes competing across 18 sporting categories. Chief Minister Nongthombam Biren Singh held a meeting today with the legislature's ruling party to discuss certain measures regarding the COVID-19 situation and developmental works being taken up in the state at the CM Secretariat. In a post on the CM's official Facebook page, he expressed his gratitude to all the ministers and MLAs for their cooperation in ensuring good progress in major projects that are being taken up in Manipur. Malom village of Hairok Assembly constituency in Taubal district has been fully able to vaccinate the entire village against COVID-19. MLA of the Assembly constituency, Tokchom Radeshyam, donated 10,000 rupees to the village task force to show his appreciation and encouragement to the team. Speaking in connection to donating to the task force, MLA Tokchom Radeshyam said there is speculation of the third wave of COVID-19 being more severe according to scientists and researchers. The vaccine will be our only hope to save ourselves from the third wave, so we all should get vaccinated, he continued. The initiative of Prime Minister Modi to vaccinate the entire country for free should be commended, he added.
Mayam punaku sigumba yam maru eba akoi Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi na akoi di lebak ta mi am ta siba yadi haina free oina vaccine kapagi masi saruk amada akoi di malong ki imainol itselna sing khuding mangna loina kathok bi base masi damta mukhan nai haninga le thalatsari aduga Honorable Prime Minister buso free vaccine bibi da Manipur maro ina hero kendra da pesa ting na nipung khuding kaphan bibi na so haninga le thalatsari.
Now let's take another short break. Don't go away. Stay tuned with us.
Tamo, kaya lo sandribo. As karanga na sa na harago.
Kay noy sibo, kay sipo noy sibo.
Hima. COVID ki vaccine kap thos na ngara du phas na hainai dudi.
Ay haksang ka stok de. Ay kapoy. Nate, haksang ka stok do ba ngoni da ka pa kay ka de. Ay kapoy hasin.
Tamo, narak dringai dana isana hana sexual ho na phatro. Kap thok na phatabra ba.
Hoyare, section mana dum ka puro. Ay kapoy.
As Khangdreda, kamay ngana dono khangdre. Phare, adude ei chalu khige. Pungo, mamai da kapuge ko, papa ga leramo.
COVID-19 laisat asigi ngak thon bagi damak COVID ki vaccine kapana laisat asigi mari lena ba laina laisat singdagi ngak thok sabangami masida natana laisat asina sanghandana bagi damak matam gi sarkarna pirakpa sana kangon sing aikhoi ngak nasat minarasi Cowin apps ta register to piduna adom su suksoi soidana vaccine asi kapthok pi COVID ki vaccine kapthok tuna COVID laitaba iram dam mu heminarasi
aikhoi vaccine kaplese.
Hello and welcome back. You're watching ELITETV English News. Now more news and updates. Social activists in Aubanong Maitem of Kumbi Mayai Lekai, Ward number 6, distributed free breakfast to 42 COVID-positive inmates of Community Home Isolation Center in Kumbi. He also gave the breakfast to the police personnel of Kumbi Police Station, working as frontline warriors as part of the program carried out along with volunteers of Kumbi Ideal Youth Development Organization Club. Speaking to media persons, Inauba said the rising number of positive cases in Kumbi is creating panic among the villagers since it is a relatively small village. He urged the people to play their part in fighting the pandemic. The people of the state should get vaccinated as soon as possible and also take the COVID-19 test in case any symptoms without hesitation, he added. Manipur Pradesh Bharatiya Janata Party Sports Cell sends best wishes to the Indian contingent as well as the 5 participants of Manipur in the 32nd Summer Olympic Games 2020 to be held in Tokyo, Japan, and come back with gold medals bringing glory to our country and the state in a press release released today. It further wishes for the participants from Manipur to be safe from COVID-19 and win in all their respective events, bringing laurel to the state, and urged the people to show their support for the participants as well. Scheduled Tribe Demand Committee urged the government to give the indigenous group of Meiteis of Manipur scheduled tribe status before the train reaches Imphal in a press release today. It further stated that the means of livelihood of the Meiteis, job opportunities, social security, land ownership and political power sharing are at risk if the indigenous Meiteis are not included in the scheduled tribe list and given the protection given by the Constitution. The changes that will come with the train have created a panic among the people belonging to this indigenous group. The state government should send recommendations as soon as possible for the Meitei community to be added under the scheduled tribe list, it added. Manipur Police Department congratulated Ngangom Baladevi on being named as the AIFF Women's Footballer of the Year 2020-21 in a press release today. She is currently playing for Rangers FC in Scotland and has also been given the same award in 2014 and 2015. She is from Manipur Police Department and also a member of the Manipur Police Sports Club. The Manipur Police Department wishes her well in all her endeavors and hopes she will continue to inspire, motivate and encourage young women footballers of the country and the state in the future. The Indian Journalists Union condemned the income tax rates at around 30 locations of Dainik Bhaskar, one of the largest Hindi media group, and Bharat Samachar, an Uttar Pradesh-based TV news channel for elite tax evasion in a press release today. The timing of the raids, especially after the second wave of COVID-19, seems planned by the authorities to oppress press freedom and intimidate critical media, said the union. About 100 men from IT department raided 30 locations of Dainik Bhaskar in Indore, Bhopal, Delhi, Jaipur, Maharashtra and Gujarat, as well as offices and homes of the group's promoters early morning today. The Lucknow office and also Bharat Samachar editor's house was raided reportedly to examine tax documents. In a statement, IJU President and former member of Press Council of India, Gitarta Pathak, and IJU Secretary General and Vice President of International Federation of Journalists, Sabina Inderjit, said that while the authorities claim the raids were based on conclusive evidence of tax fraud, the timing needs to be noted by all. A critical media, particularly during the second wave of COVID, has increasingly come under attack by the ruling system by adopting various means, with IT raids being the latest. The union said that the IT department being used to harass critical and independent media attacks the root of press freedom and demanded the government to refrain from such harmful activity. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will hold a meeting of all chief ministers, chief secretaries and DGPs of northeastern states on July 24, during which he is expected to take stock of the law and order and COVID-19 situation in the region. During the two-day visit on July 24-25, the Home Minister will also inaugurate a cryogenic oxygen plant, visit the headquarters of the Assam Rifles in Shillong and attend an event in Guwahati. The meeting will be held at the Northeastern Space Application Center, where he will also review the functioning of the Space Science and Technology Center of the region. Union Minister for Science and Technology and Space, Jitendra Singh, and Minister for Development of the Northeastern Region, G. Kishan Reddy, will also accompany the Home Minister during the trip. Now let's take another short break. Don't go away. Stay tuned with us.
Jati bizati khai den corona lanjang thekne rese ai khoi vaccine ka place corona de ngam rese punchi sau khai mai kai da hanna pa rese punchi sau khai mai kai da hanna pa rese
Asingmune, I pun the basin cup tokuna, corona dang of tokuna, honey principal and no hanabada, other the stroke yabi.
Hello and welcome back. You're watching ELITETV English News. Now more news and updates. Security remained heightened around Jantar Mantar in Delhi today as 200 farmers hold the Kisan Sansad or Farmers Parliament for a second day to protest against the 3 agricultural laws. Security personnel from the Delhi Police, Rapid Action Force RAF and Central Reserve Police Force CRPF were seen armed with anti-riot gear in the area. The farmers are protesting against the 3 farm laws, that is the Farmers Produce, Trade and Commerce, Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020, the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act 2020, and the Essential Commodities Amendment Act 2020. The farmers claim these laws will benefit big corporate houses. The Kisan Sansad will run alongside the monsoon session till August 13, the last day of the parliament. The farmers said their parallel parliament will discuss all the 42 anti-farmer laws brought by the centre after 2014 and also pass a resolution declaring that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is anti-farmer. The demonstration comes almost 6 months after violent protests broke out in parts of Delhi during a tractor rally carried out by the farmers on January 26th. Trinamool Congress TMC member Santanu Sen was suspended today from Rajya Sabha for the remainder of the monsoon session for unruly and unbecoming behavior, a day after he snatched papers from Information Technology Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw while he was reading a statement on the elite's use of Israeli software Pegasus to potentially target politicians, activists and journalists. Union Minister B. Muralidharan moved a motion for Sen's suspension, even as TMC's Chief Whip Sukhendu Sekhar Roy objected, saying it was not on the list of business of the House. Last year, the rule was applied to suspend 8 opposition members from Rajya Sabha for a week after the protests against the farm laws. Protests have been erupting in the parliament over the elite's targeting of phones with military-grade spyware, the controversial farm laws, and income tax rates on the premises of the newspaper group. They have forced repeated adjournments and allowed little business in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, according to sources. The Gamma variant of the novel coronavirus, first found in Brazil, has been detected in small quantities in Russia, according to the Interfax news agency, which cited a source as the developer behind Russia's Epivac corona vaccine yesterday. Russia is facing a surge in coronavirus cases that authorities have blamed on the Delta variant and a slow rate of vaccinations. On Thursday, Russia reported 24,471 new COVID-19 cases and 796 deaths related to coronavirus in the last 24 hours. Epivac Corona, Russia's second of 4 vaccines to be registered, was developed by the Vector Institute in Siberia. The Delta variant is widespread on the territory of the Russian Federation, with isolated cases of the Gamma variant detected. Interfax cited the institute as saying, the institute say the Delta and Gamma variants were categorized as causing concern because they spread more easily and can reduce the effectiveness of antibodies. The U.S. carried out airstrikes across Afghanistan in the last several days as part of an effort to support the Afghan security forces fighting Taliban insurgents, the Pentagon has said. The news of U.S. airstrikes in Afghanistan comes a day after America's most senior military officer admitted that the Taliban had gained strategic momentum, with their forces now controlling about half of Afghanistan's more than 400 district centers. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby told reporters on Thursday at a news conference in Washington that in the last several days, they have acted through airstrikes to support the ANDSF, that is, Afghan National Defense and Security Forces, but refrained from giving any specifics of its airstrikes in Afghanistan. Now, before we wind up, let's take a quick look at headlines once again. No decisions have been made on appointing new MPCC president, says Bhakta Charan Das. Professor Narem Lokendra Singh appointed as Vice Chancellor of Manipur University. And Tokyo Olympic Games 2020 inaugurated today. That's all we have on this edition of ELITETV English News. We'll be back with more news tomorrow, so stay tuned.